Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday night paint along. And I hope that you will post what you make during this stream in the Art Alongs channel in our Discord. Let me take a minute because I need to figure out exactly what's going on with this painting. I have not looked at it for a while. And I always do this every time I sit back and look at a piece and I've been away from it for a while. I like to have some kind of game plan. At this stage, the question I'm asking myself is where is the emergency? What is the part of the painting that is the least worked on? Specifically, this reference is where I think I'm going to spend more time on today. Last time I spent a lot of time on this side, but I feel like this whole upper left-hand corner needs a lot of work. I also need more green down here. Maybe I'll start with the big leaf because that area has not been touched since I started the painting. Yeah, let's start with this because I feel like the shape is nowhere near where it should be, which means we need to do some mixing. Let me take a closer look at the reference. This is the big leaf. And I think I want to make it a little darker than it actually is, which I've done with the whole piece. I mean, this area down here is very dark. And in the reference, it's not like that at all. Tell me in the comments, how has your week been? What has been going on? Any fun art supplies? Any artists you've been looking at? I was looking at Durer all day today because I have a massive Durer book. And yes, a video is coming soon. So Durer is on my mind, but let me know if there's another artist who you've been thinking about. Doesn't even have to be this week, somebody that you maybe discovered. Okay, let's get moving on that leaf. And this is probably the least developed cherry. That one's going to get some love today. I think I want to make this one really yellow because these are all pretty red, but actually these are rainier cherries, which are known for being yellow. And so at the very least, let's get in one that really has that yellow in there. Okay, in terms of mixing the green, it's going to be this pretty neutral green, but I think what's missing, there's not a lot of yellow in here. I definitely need some cadmium yellow up there. Okay, let's mix 3 colors. We'll do 3 different gradients. One that's super yellow, one that's darker, and one that's medium. Let's spend some time doing some mixing. And I'll do the same thing I did last time, which is where I took the painting off the easel and I put my palette here, and hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Let me just make this a little higher. Oh, is that? Hang on, gotta change my camera. Get that focused way better for you guys. We'll zoom in. Glad that I have my DSLR. It's so much easier to fix things. Okay, let me just put a little splot. Oh, this is all dry. I just need to put something here so that way I can focus my camera, but apparently Burnt Umber does not want to cooperate. There we go. We need something. Get that focus to where we want it to be. All right, let's get going. We're going to mix 3 different colors of green. I want a green that has a lot of yellow. Despite all of my issues with cerulean blue this week, my God, that was like a really bad date. It's what it felt like. But we're going to start with cerulean because it has so much yellow in it. But I'm also going to add Oh my God, this is all crusty. I really need to clean this. Let's just start with a really just straight blue. Ugh, yeah, that's disgusting. That is a really cool teal color. You know something? I've been a little obsessed with teal recently. I used it quite a bit in that Moulin Rouge painting, and now I just keep looking for teal. And it's also the color that's in the back of the male portrait that I did from the painting marathon. That's the color. Oh, this is like all dry. Sheesh. Is this even usable? Oh, okay, this is usable. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, there's crap in here. I can't use this. Man, maybe I need to just get rid of those two colors. If you're wondering, I am using Michael Harding is the oil paint that I'm using today. And this was definitely my favorite out of all of the paints that I used during the painting marathon. Still super blue. I really don't want any indication of blue here. Yeah, let's just dump a lot of cadmium. Yeah, oh, that stuff. This is all disgusting. I should totally just clean that. Also, tell me right now, what state is your studio in? Is it clean? Is it a little bit of a mess? Is it super tidy? Or is it a complete disaster? Because I was feeling good about my studio recently, and then I totally tore it apart because I was shooting a video about style, and everything was on the floor. I don't know if people got a chance to watch that video, but it was a video I just posted yesterday. It was about how to find your style, because it is something that I think is on a lot of people's minds. And the interesting thing, and maybe older folks can help me with this. Do people here think the style thing, do people think that's a result of social media being the case? Because I'll tell you, when I went to art school, we didn't talk about that. It just wasn't even a discussion. And now all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. And so I'm wondering if it's part of the way this generation is growing up, the stuff that they're exposed to, and that maybe social media creates an emphasis on style that wasn't as present pre-social media. So tell me in the comments, do you think it's a social media thing, or do you think it's more people wanting to really feel like they know what they're doing, and maybe some of the aimlessness is a little bit nerve-wracking, or people don't feel like they know what they're doing? Probably it is a little bit of both. But like anything, it's more nuanced than that. Okay. Trying to decide between alizarin crimson or cadmium red light. Let's reason through this, because I want it to be pretty dull, but I don't think I want it dark. I think the alizarin crimson would make it too dark. Okay, let's do the cadmium red light. And we're going to try to tone down this green so it isn't so saturated. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, I like the cadmium red light. Actually, let's add a little more. Yeah, the alizarin, I think, would have made it really dark, and I definitely don't want that. And by the way, everybody, hang out in the Discord. And I'm also going to do some shout outs, because you know something? The Show and Tell channel is hopping. Show and Tell channel, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is a channel where you can share anything, limit one artwork, one photo per day. And it's just a really fun channel because people make comments, there's no critique involved, and it's just a nice way to be seen without the pressure of feeling like you're putting yourself up for a critique. Okay. We need some more cadmium red light. Oh, wait. Oh, this is not cadmium red light. Shoot, this is Scarlet Lake. Oh, I forgot I used Gamblin for that. Okay, well, let's see what Scarlet Lake is like. Because I was just looking at the Scarlet Lake and realizing, wow, that's really red. The cadmium red light has a lot more yellow in it, but let's just use it anyway. I don't think it's a big difference because I'm just using the red to tone down the green. Okay, that's a pretty dark green. I think it's okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now this is another thing I do. Does everybody see how this mixing space just got really large? Oftentimes, once I'm done mixing a color, I'll push it all the way down so that it's grouped together. And then I can go in with my scraper and get rid of stuff like that. And that just frees up a lot of mixing space that I otherwise would not have had. I do this when I'm pre-mixing. I don't always do that, but when I'm pre-mixing, it is handy to make that space. So I've got the whole palette ready to go. All right, let me get a shot of that into the Discord, and then we can talk about what's happening. All right, let's see what is happening in the Discord. And then we'll take some comments about style. All right, we already have some activity in here from Angie, who says, been stagnant, just making marks, working with complementary colors, blue and orange. Angie, that's a great place to get started. Just make marks. That is all you need to do. I think for a lot of us, part of it is just putting the pencil in our hand. I know that sounds absurd, but sometimes it's the hardest part where I'm like, ugh. But once the marker's in my hand and it's moving, it is a lot easier. So I'm really glad that you brought that up because there's so much play here. And play is an extremely important part of being an artist. And we also have some red-green thumbnails from Angie. And I really like these little patches that you did on the side, trying to see some of those combinations. And I do find that a limited color scheme is a really great way to go. I think that a lot of the paintings I really like oftentimes are ones with a limited color scheme. So that's certainly a great way to start. If you start using every single color in the rainbow, it oftentimes is difficult to keep track of things. Let's take a peek in show and tell. What is happening in here? So this is Bosch spent an hour in Photoshop, lit a candle in sunset, picture of your bathroom floor. Wow, look at that. Oh, really fun tip in terms of how to create a reference. That's the other thing is show and tell is a great place to get ideas. Okay. We also have Rambo commit. Oh, really unusual patterns. And we also have this person here. You can see this beautiful rendering of the eye. And we also have Millipede, who is doing some very luminous yellows in this composition. That's the thing is you can't come into show and tell and not get some inspiration because the stuff that people are making here is so different. Okay, so Scummies drew this for a friend. That's super fun. I like how you have these little bitty orange lines. That's a really nice touch. It's not something that you see immediately, but definitely enhances the artwork. Alexander is asking, how do you determine a limited palette? Some people describe theirs, and it is my whole palette. There's different degrees of limited. I mean, some people will say, well, my limited palette is going to use blue and it's going to have all these different types of blue. Complementary colors is one that is actually part of our color track where we say make a painting and only use complementary colors. That was a great exercise for me when I was a student. I highly recommend doing that. Or sometimes it's 3 colors. You say, okay, the primary color scheme here is pink and orange and green. It doesn't matter how limited or not limited it is, but the idea is having some cohesion in terms of how you do color, so you don't feel like you're just doing things randomly. I mean, some people like that. I'm not good at that. I like to have something that's a bit more predetermined. And a reminder, everybody, if you have a question you would like for me to answer, please write question in all caps, and that will make it a lot easier for me to find your question. And if I miss your question, just put it in the chat again. Brian says, my feeling is style is a social media thing, kind of like proto-punk is a retrospective term. What is proto-punk? I just make art, don't worry about other people's terms. JJ Fan has an uneducated guess. The style thing's partially young artists posting their art online, calling their mistakes stylistic choices because mistakes aren't allowed on the internet. I will say that I have heard people defending themselves in art school when I would critique something, and oftentimes they would shoot back, well, that's my style. Sometimes it is because people are trying to get out of the hot seat. Other times it's because they have a really clear-cut image of what it is they want to do, which can be good in some circumstances, but my feeling is that in art school, it is really helpful to let go of that and to lose yourself in the lack of style, and you can always pick it up later and see what's happening. This is a nice description from Jen. Style is all your influences smushed together through your own vision and capabilities, but I think people want to feel like the style they're happy with and is consistent. I'm not that happy most of the time with my art, and I'm not consistent at all. I looked at my Instagram the other day and I just thought, oh my gosh, I haven't been making anything because I have so many projects here. But this concept of being a consistent artist, I just don't think it exists. Tell me in the comments, how many of you here have tried to be consistent and failed? How many of you feel like I'm pretty consistent? And how many people here think it's a hopeless cause in terms of being consistent? That's me. I am definitely the hopeless cause when it comes to stuff like that. Blue Wren says style is something the galleries are really pushing. They will want to see multiple mediums or different subject and style from a single artist. Yes, there are certain contexts, for example, in the professional world, where it would be a bad idea to have work that's all over the place. And certainly you can curate your art based on what you're sending it to, because I look at the scope of my work and it's totally over the place, but I would never send that hodgepodge of artworks to a gallery. I've never do that for a freelance illustration portfolio. There are definitely ways to make the work consistent for a particular purpose. Selena says, my studio is clean for once. It's no longer Francis Bacon-esque. Oh, if you guys want to feel good about the tidiness of your studio, just look up Francis Bacon's studio. You will feel a lot better. Oh, yes. So everybody knows my internet has not been great lately. So it's probably me that's making it a little bit choppy. I need to get my spouse to do tech support, but that will have to wait until tomorrow. So my apologies if we are getting some choppiness in there. Cobalt teal. Oh, cobalt teal. Oh, I like that. Cobalt blue is a blue that I've tried in the past, and I didn't really like it. In general, I don't have a lot of experience with cobalts. Those of you who do, maybe tell me what you like about cobalts, because I just didn't get behind the cobalt blue, but maybe the cobalt teal will be something that gets me going. Anna says, I think the concept of a style is overrated and can trap artists into repeating themselves. I prefer to think of my work in terms of evolution. Me too. I like to think that I'm just always changing as an artist. Certainly, there are people who they find their thing and they want to keep doing that. That's fine. But I just don't think I could ever, even if I wanted to do that, I don't think I could, because as a person, you're just always changing. Your circumstances change, how you think about things. I do like that concept of it being more like an evolution. Jade says, I get bored easily. Maybe that's the consistency's enemy. Well, do people really think that your attention span has diminished? Because that's something we hear about a lot. Oh, nobody has an attention span anymore. I have an attention span when I want to. Sometimes if I'm working, I'm just like burning through a million tasks. But I spent a whole afternoon with Mr. Albrecht Dürer in this gigantic book. I felt like I was in another dimension. Oh, it was just such a great way to spend the afternoon. Okay, let's take a look at what is going on with my piece. We're going to actually do something. Oh, right, I have to mix. Do people, tell me in the chat, want me to paint until the bitter end on these marathon paintings? Because I'm sure from an entertainment point of view, it's not that exciting to watch me work on this so much. On the other hand, I feel like people need to know how long this stuff takes. Plus, I think because you're all here, you know you're not here to see a explosion of pink bubblegum glitter. Which, yeah, I know that's very eye-catching, but I'm not really interested in that at all. Okay, I just added a big blob of cadmium yellow that got totally obliterated. So you know something? I'm going to take a smaller portion. Because if I had to add enough cadmium yellow to make an impact, I'd have to put a lot. So instead, I'm going to take a smaller portion of this, and now I'm going to put a big blob of cadmium yellow, and it will actually be far more impactful. Because I think I mixed too much of that very dark green. Okay, so here you can see, because I took a very small quantity, that was a lot better. Whoops. In terms of the yellow really making an impact. And in fact, I still think that was a little not enough. Let's do another mixture. I'm going to take a little bit of this and again, put a lot of yellow in there. Because the colors I'm mixing right now, they're not just for that one leaf. They're going to be used in other areas as well. So it would be good for me to have a range of value that's happening here. Oh, my cadmium yellow wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be. Usually cadmiums are pretty strong, but this one's a little weak. Maybe it's Michael Harding that's making them that way. Well, that's a little better. Let me go in. I'm going to just scrape down some of the extra mixing. Keeps things a little bit cleaner. I feel like I need one that's super yellow. Okay, let's just do one that is a straight yellow. And I'm only going to put in a little tiny touch of that green. We're going to get one that's super yellow. Okay, let's try this. Oh man, that still didn't go very far. Jeez. I ended up with the exact same color. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna get more yellow in there. I guess I'm getting confused between the colors because all of the paintings I'm using a slightly different, I'm using a different brand. And so I'm finding myself, I can't keep track of what's what in terms of color strength. Okay, that's more what I want. Something that's like super yellow. And actually, since I don't have Naples yellow, I think I'm going to mix some very like soft, mild yellow, and that will be a good contrast. So right now what I'm doing, this is more about value. We're getting some lighter colors by adding the yellow. We're not really changing the saturation that's already been taken care of. Okay. Let's get some white. Let's start with the yellow, and then if I change my mind, I might add more in a bit, but we definitely need a lot of this color. All right, just a little bit of yellow. I don't want to use that much. And we're going to mix two of these. We're going to have one like this. I mean, it's not totally yellow. I had some green in my palette knife, which is making it like that, which is okay. I don't mind. Okay, so that's like a nice opaque, bright yellow. And then I'm going to take a little piece of it. Oops. Probably going to have to mix a lot more, but whatever. I'm going to put a lot of yellow in this one. That's too yellow. I'm going to move some of this green in there. Okay, yeah, that's closer. It's a little bit more pale. Okay, that might be enough to just get me going. Okay, let me take a quick shot of the palette, stick it in the Discord, and then we'll get going with the painting process. I'll do some close-ups because I think we all enjoy those juicy colors. And a reminder, this is going right into the Art Alongs channel, which is in the Discord. Okay, got the palette. Let's see what we can do with the painting. All right. If I decide to go to the bitter end on these paintings, oh my God, we're going to be doing this for like months. I mean, I feel like we already have been. Oh, I forgot to put on my art guard. Does everybody remember this? Made by Winsor & Newton. You just put it on your hands and it's a barrier cream. So that way the oil paint isn't directly on your skin. Also makes it easier to clean off. Oh, tell me in the comments, what's the longest you've ever worked on an artwork? There we go. I mean, I don't usually keep track, but there are definitely artworks I've done I don't know the number of hours necessarily, but I know that that painting has sucked something out of me. So when I say that, I don't necessarily mean number of hours, just what is the artwork that has taken the most out of you? Hang on a sec. To get that white balance working better. All right. That red dot, by the way, is so that I can collect footage for future paintings. All right. Let me start. I'm going to use my big brush because I don't want to get too involved with details. Let's use the solvent-free medium made by Gamblin. And I'm just going to glaze a couple of dark parts. Let's just follow. There's quite a bit of medium in here. I'm going to be pretty free with the strokes. There's a lot more up here. It's pretty thick paint, but there's quite a bit of medium in it, so I'll move it around. Yeah, up here there are some smaller strokes. Just lock some of those in. Oh, that got a little thick. I don't think I like that. I think a painting that sucked out my soul probably was that Moulin Rouge commission. It just was really complicated because I wanted to really push myself in terms of composition. I think that's what made it hard, because even a painting like this is not that complex composition wise. That one had like multiple figures and drapes, and it was just a very complicated composition. And so that really took a lot out of me to figure that out. The thumbnailing got a little out of control at a certain point. But that's usually why a piece is hard for me. It's not necessarily that it just takes forever to make. It's just the compositional choices are very involved. Okay. I'm going to put some of this dark green in a couple other spots just because I have it here. I feel like I might as well. Maybe down here. It's very purple. Need to bring back the green, which is a lot more prominent. That'll bring out the orange better too. A lot of this is about replacing some of the colors that just got stuck there earlier. Of course, I've got my handy rag. I've also had pieces that were really effortless, where they just painted themselves. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then it does happen. Or sometimes I paint them so fast because I'm in a rush. And so it's like you don't really have time to question what's going on. Let me see if I need it up here. Do I? maybe a little bit, not very much. Maybe I'll do a glaze, just a little. Well, let me try the brighter one. I think this one's a little bit dark. Let's try the brighter green. I'm going to wipe it down. This is not going to stay. But I think I do want to add some more spots of green over here. I don't want to leave this color so it just stays in one spot for too long. But that should spread that out a little more. Oh, definitely down here. I totally forgot about this area. What was I doing? Okay, I guess this is more of a dark green. Yeah, it's very purple down here. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so here's a lighter green. Yeah, oh my gosh, the whole part around is like purple. That's bad. I do like to do this anytime I add a new color. I don't want to let it stay in one spot for too long. This leaf has a lot going on. Here I'm going to draw a lot more because there are these very distinct shapes that this leaf is making. I like to distinguish, okay, is this a drawing thing or is this a painting thing? Right now, this is definitely a drawing thing. Maybe I'll put in some of the very light green back here. Ooh, I kind of like that. Oh, yummy. That looks really good against the red of the cherry. Oh, I like that color. Maybe I need to use that more. I need a bigger brush though. That brush is way too small. Oh, I like this mixture. I was not anticipating that. Oops. Yeah, I definitely need some pockets of green in here. I was sort of ignoring it. I guess I was spending too much time on the cherries. Oh, that's a nice. I like these colors. Oh, that's really good. Cool. Here too. I think it was just very yellow before, and now the green is starting to come into play. Yeah. All right, that's definitely too bright. I don't want that. Let's go back to the big brush. Big brush is my best friend. Try to stay with them as much as possible. But the green is definitely helping with the cherries. I felt like the cherries were a little bit too dominant before, and now this is feeling a lot better. Cool. And now here, I'm going to put some super bright green. This spot. Get that nice and thick. All right, let me shoot a couple photos of some of these spots, and then we'll see what people are talking about in the chat. Ah. A lot of glare here today. All right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. And remember, if you have a question you'd like to ask, make sure that you put the word question in all caps, and I'm much more likely to pay attention when people do that. Okay, these are all going in the Discord. Lisa says that green overwhelms the yellow. That happens to me a lot. It overwhelms it for now because we haven't gotten out my best friend, the rag, to fix all of those things for me. Lisa is asking, can you discuss questions you might ask yourself about your own work to better understand possible goals? I think for me, a lot of it has to do with stepping back and asking myself if I see patterns in the work. This recent period of time, I was going back to a lot of images that I did a long time ago. Some of you may have seen on my Instagram, I was posting some of those paintings that I'd done of my gums. And now I'm thinking that that's going to circle back into the fumage because I was thinking I would do the gum images, but with fumage. And so sometimes it's almost like a timeline that I construct in my head about things coming forward, things receding, when do things cross over into each other. I don't usually ask myself the big questions, I guess, because there's so much to do, and I oftentimes have multiple projects going at the same time. And for me, I just have very low standards about getting my work done because I just know I won't. I'll never have enough time to work on my personal work compared to what I'm doing here. And that's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but it is particular to the structure I work in. Jen says, when mixing, say, a green, do you just mix any blue and any yellow, or do you think more about whether they are warmer or cooler? Can you mix cooler and warmer colors? For me, usually I'm thinking about colors less so than warmth. At least right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm not really thinking about warm and cool, but the basic structure of the painting is that the cherries are very warm, the green is cool. I mean, that's the most super basic way of thinking about it. Obviously, there are some yellows in here that feel cold, some of them feel a little warmer. Yeah, I guess my intuition doesn't work in terms of warm and cool. I know Lauren really thinks about that, but one of the reasons I picked cerulean blue as the base for that green is because I knew I wanted a lot of yellow, and cerulean blue has way more yellow in it than ultramarine. I don't know if that answered your question, Jen, but I'm not thinking as much about warm and cool right now. All right, Manette says 8 consecutive hours. Clay puzzles I made of pets. Made some of my friend between kneading clay, cutting it out, baking. Yeah, that sounds like it would take 8 hours at least. Yeah, Lisa says stop motion a month. That's pretty short for stop motion. It's so involved. Selena says installation for 3 weeks, at least 120 hours. Val says, mostly been doing graphite and charcoal. Longest often take around 6 hours, I think. Well, the interesting thing is I do better when I have more time to just have things take forever because I just can't rush it. And there are certain times where it just makes a lot more sense. Oh, shoot. I think I knocked over my camera. So I'll fix it when we get back. We also have Angela, who says attention spans and high expectations, all because of shorts and reels. I am just trying to set boundaries with time spent on a phone. I just saw this yesterday. Do people know that YouTube channel Raw Straws? I know of him. I haven't really watched the channel very much, but he has huge channel. And I guess there's some controversy now that I don't have the details, by the way, everybody. So you should look it up for really specific facts. But the gist of what I saw from people were talking about was that he did use AI to generate some stuff, and people were talking a lot about how being on social media, there is so much pressure to produce so much content, get it out there all the time. And a lot of people were saying, well, that's probably why he did it. And people can do it however they want. But I realized reading that I pretty much always want to make everything from scratch, even if I feel like I could have a shortcut. I just don't want to do it. I'm not like this with food, but if I could do it, I would grow every vegetable I ate from a seed in my own garden, and I would plant my own peanut plants. I totally would do that. But I do think that is similar to how I do the artwork, because there's a lot of things where people are like, "Oh, just use this." And I'm like, "No, I want to make my own." And I know sometimes it feels like it doesn't matter, but while I do feel pressure to get stuff out there and make things, I guess I'm not really worried that taking things and making them from scratch takes longer. Like I can't ever see myself taking a big shortcut to make a piece of content. I do have shortcuts here and there, but in terms of making content, like I'm filming that from scratch. All of the videos that we do. Jade says, particularly interested as a subject matter, style, and luminance that I find really attractive. By the way, everybody, I have not announced this just yet, but I am working on it. The workshops for March and April, not every single page is up there right now. However, they have been listed. And one thing people have been talking to Mia about lately is how to create luminous qualities in a painting. So we have Mia teaching some workshops for the first time. She's doing one on sparkly painting, meaning using iridescent, glittery, any type of material that sparkles in paint is going to be something Mia will be exploring. And then the other workshop that Mia's teaching is painting luminous colors. So anybody here who has interest in creating luminosity in a painting situation, you can definitely explore that with Mia. She's very good at that. So I hope you guys will take a look. Jordan's also teaching a bunch of workshops, but here they are for March and April, and you guys can find them in the video description below. Like I said, not all the pages are up, but I will be announcing that fairly soon. Let's see what's happening in the Discord. Great to see Manette working on a mama harpy from the piece I posted about in Open Studios. Oh, this is so great to see, because Manette, I'd seen your work in Open Studios where you had the harpy eggs, and now we are seeing the mother harpy. Whoa, those are really glowing eyes. It looks very otherworldly. Is that like granulating watercolor? We also have Anna, who's posted a bunch of pieces. Anna, you and I have been talking about some of your work in Open Studios as well. We were talking about some of the patterning in your pieces, some of the floral patterns and the people that you're starting to explore. Here are my images for everybody to look at. So this was this green spot here. It's too thick right now. I will work on it. You can see a little better. And Lisa is brainstorming for the Art Dare because the Art Dare is fruit, everybody, fruits and veggies. Great to see a mind map from you, Lisa. And we also have Salinas. Oh, you're continuing to work on the piece from Open Studios. In case you guys are wondering, Open Studios is a part of Art Club. So if you're in Art Club, you get to go to Open Studio sessions, which are twice a week. And that's where we hang out and talk to each other on voice. It's really informal and fun to work together. Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to see people posting here. We also have a super chat, which is coming from Angela, which for some reason I can't locate. Where is it? Anyway, thank you, Angela, who says, thank you for the free educational content. And I owe you an emoji. Lots of great comments about cobalt and phthalo. Lisa P knows to a T, 31 days for a long artwork. Oh, there it is. Duh. It was like right in front of me and I totally did not see that. Alexander says, I reject AI. The whole point of art is that a person made it, put in the time and their own personality. Exactly. I mean, I know not everything I do is polished and clean. A lot of it's rough around the edges, but I think it's that human touch. The human touch is rough around the edges. And I think a lot of us want that. Okay, let's get back into this, but I do need to change my camera. My camera got super bumped. Let me fix that first. The heck? I think the tripod like did something. What? Come on. Oh, give me one sec. We'll figure this out. No, that's not what I want. Come back. What are you doing, DSLR? Come on. Oh, is it still recording? Is that why? Maybe I need to stop the recording. Maybe I need to reset OBS. Give me a second, everybody. Tech stuff as always. Oh yeah, it disconnected. Don't worry, we'll get this back. What's been your tech issue this week, everybody? There's always something. Anna, you and I were talking about websites being not so fun. My internet has been not so great, and so that's been driving me a little crazy. Okay, I think I have it back to normal. Let's get that. This is the part you guys don't tend to see me doing as much, but it is a big part of my job, is doing all this camera stuff. I like to say I'm pretty good at it now. I used to be terrible. It used to terrify me to do all this stuff. But I feel okay about it now. Okay. Yay. Got it fixed. Finally. Oh man, it's tripping. Stop tripping. I don't want that. Okay, I do want to add a little bit more green. I don't really think I'm quite there yet, although I need to catch this drip. Jeez, it's like happening in real time. Okay. Let me look at this. I gotta pull up this reference because I think that reference is not quite happening right now. Okay. We're going to do some drawing because this leaf is like falling apart. I'm going to put some really bright yellow back there. We're going to really work on this. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the drawing part. Actually, let me zoom in. That way you guys can really see better what's going on there. Okay, there we go. I feel like every day there's some piece of tech that will not cooperate. So tell me what yours is. For me this week, I was trying to hook up my mic to my DSLR and it didn't work. But then I realized it didn't work because I didn't charge it. Well, it's going to take a little longer than I wanted it to. And it looks like people do want me to go to the bitter end with this painting. By the way, everybody, in the pinned messages, you will find the information for the upcoming gouache marathon. It's going to be shorter this time. I think I can only do a week once a year. It's going to destroy me otherwise. But that is coming up February 7th through 9th. And there are a few supplies I still need. I'm all set with Holbein and M. Graham. We're going to be using those for 2 of the days. But I do need some help getting those Daniel Smith gouaches. I contacted Daniel Smith, hoping I could get some supplies out of them, but they did not answer. I've tried them in the past. They never answer. Which is a bummer. Because Daniel Smith, don't you want me to help sell your paints? I promise all my followers will go shopping after a stream. I got proof that people do this. Okay, here, I'm like wandering off over here. I was like going to totally work on this. But you know something? There's a little thing of crap here. What is this? Oh, what was that? I have no idea. Yeah, we're really going to draw today. Very, very soft, nuanced passages. I don't want this to get too bright because there's like super bright highlights on this side. So I'm actually darkening this up a little bit. You know something? The highlight here, it's sort of bluish. I think I'm going to mix up some... Let's try ultramarine blue. I'm going to do a lot of white and a very, very small touch of ultramarine blue. Because I need that to not be just like a bright yellow. I really need something that feels like a different color. Oh man, that's a lot of... I didn't add enough white. I definitely feel like the Michael Harding paints, they're not as strong as some of the Gamblin paints. Some of the Gamblin paints are really, really strong. Okay, so let's see what this blue does for this area. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Okay, that I was not expecting. By the way, tell me in the comments, because we're talking about luminosity. Where in real life do you feel you see luminosity the most clearly? Because luminosity shows up in a lot of different places. Oftentimes, I think about luminosity when, well, this is going to sound really dumb, you guys, but one place I really notice it, you know, when you go to the drugstore and they have shampoos and stuff or makeup, and then they have like glimmering white light coming from behind the cabinet. Do people know what I'm talking about? I feel like that's where I'm like, ooh, glowing makeup supplies, which is what I guess they want you to see. They do that with perfume as well. I've always thought it was a funny thing because they don't do that with everything. It's just that particular place. I mean, I don't go shopping very much for makeup, but I definitely have noticed that that's something they do in the displays. Okay, now we're going to come in. Oops, crap. We're going to come in with some of that darker green, and we're going to see if we can get this leaf to really happen. I'm trying to get these segments to come across better. Because there is very much like a pattern here that we're seeing. I want the veins to be a little bit more visible. I mean, certainly we can talk about luminosity when it comes to nature. There's plenty of that. But I guess for me, something glowing doesn't always necessarily mean light. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, I just think about Lord of the Rings. Does everybody remember when they go to Galadriel's place and it's like glowing things in the tree? Like to me, that's more glowing than it is about light. I mean, it is about light, but the glow is something else. That's not quite really what I want. I think the blue I added is a little bit too dark. Let me mix up another blue, but have a lot less of it. I gotta clean my palette. See my palette? That's what it's looking like right now. And I will get a shot of that for everybody for the Discord. Yeah, I think the blue I had, it was just too dark. Just gonna make some space in my palette for that. Okay, big blob of white with the tiniest touch of blue. Okay, better. Okay, let's redo some of those highlights that I was talking about. And I am sort of drawing right now. Okay, I'm going to get a brush that is nice and soft. We're going to push some things around. Okay, here's a brush. This one's nice and clean. This sort of comes in and lets me soften a lot of moments. I'm doing a lot of blending right now. And let's build up some of that blue. Oh yeah, that's nice and thick. Okay, better. I'm keeping it a little bit more simple than it is, because I just don't want to get caught up in a lot of that. Okay, go back in. Put back in the darks. It's a back and forth, everybody. I'm going to let some of these shapes wander a little more. And I want to put in a really dark green towards the bottom. It looks like a caterpillar, doesn't it? I don't know. It just looks like a big plump caterpillar to me. Here I'm trying to brighten up this shape so it looks a little bigger. Oh yeah, that's better. I think I was painting very small strokes before. That wasn't a good idea. But it's starting to get more structure now. Oh yeah, that's better. Oh, good. Why does that happen? We're going to get another soft brush, and I'm going to just use this to blend. By the way, how do people blend? I was giving somebody some advice in one of the workshops. They were asking me how to blend a color. My method of blending a color, sometimes I'll do a glaze. Sometimes a glaze can really just take care of it for you. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going in with a brush that has nothing on it to make those blends. Is that how people do it? Or do you guys do it in a very different manner? I mean, that's how I do it. Certainly, that's not the only way you can blend. But for me, usually, I mean, if it's not oils and it's drying, like I'll have acrylic. If there are two colors I want to blend, I'll put down the two colors while they're still wet, and then I'll take a brush that has nothing on it to blend them. So I guess the clean brush is like the blender thing that I'm using. I'm just going to work out some of this so I can... I'm trying to simplify it. I think I had too many strokes at first. Yeah, that's better. That's it. I think I tried to paint every vein, which I should know better than to do that, because that's something I'm very bad at. Ooh, that's sort of nice. This nice chunk of dark. Oh yeah, that's better. Oh, cool. Let me take a photo of that. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but it's got more presence. That's what I wanted before. I felt like it was so empty before. Let me just try a couple more things. Hang on. I feel like I'm sort of fixating on this leaf, but I think I need it. Ah, shoot. I got some highlight where I didn't want it. Ah, shoot. I think it's time to clean my brushes. Did not mean to make that light. Okay, a little bit of blending, everybody. Sorry about my squeaky chair. Okay, let me take a photo of that so you guys can see what that looks like. And then I'll do a little bit more green so that is now going into the Discord. Okay, we need more green. Oh, we got to work on the big leaf at the top. Okay, let's jump back up there. It's definitely something I don't want to sit for too long. Whole point of today was to work on that leaf. By the way, everybody, can I show you guys this? I would like to know, how do I fix this thing? Look at this. Does everybody remember my pretty mop brush that I was so excited about? Look what happened. Do you see? It came out. See this? And I tried to put it back in, but it's not doing it. Because if I try to put it back in, some of the stuff, like it just, like, is this just beyond the point of being fixed? It doesn't work. I mean, do I just like peel off the ones that didn't go in? But I was like really sad when I saw that. Do I just push it in, or is there, I don't know. This makes me sad. I really, really liked this mop brush and it's died on me. I only used, I mean, I feel like it's gonna, if I don't push it in, it's gonna like, I don't know. Does anybody know how to fix this? This is so bad. Oh, Alexander says you need a steel rod and a mallet. Once it's back in rubber mallet, it back into shape. Okay, but JJ Fan says I use tape, comes undone eventually, but it helps short term. Yeah, maybe that's the end of my mop brush. Who knows? Yeah, sorry everybody, it's my internet connection. It does sort of go in and out. I'm going to try to get my spouse to reboot the system this weekend. I really like these ideas. So Janice says back of the ears when someone is facing a bright light. And we also have Anna who says it's a cliche, but I've been noticing a lot of luminosity in sunsets while on vacation. Question from Anna. For the gouache marathon, will you be using traditional gouache or acrylic gouache? I don't think I've worked with traditional gouache before. I'm going to be using the traditional gouache. The acrylic gouache will be for another day. I'm going to really paint with gouache, which I've never done before. I've always used gouache for design classes or color mixing. I really don't have experience with painting with gouache. Selena says, I don't think I've seen Daniel Smith give anyone a deal. I really don't know very much about the company, but I was surprised because most companies, if I call them up, will be like, oh yeah, we'll send you supplies. Like it's not a difficult thing for them. And most of them are happy to do that. But they're the one company I have not cracked them yet. I guess I'm not famous enough. Maybe if I get famous enough. Although, you know what, you guys, I decided I have a new goal. My goal in life, I want to get famous enough amongst artists. I don't mean like Hugh Jackman famous. I don't want that in my life. But I want to be famous enough that I can walk into any art store and they will know me. That will make me feel very famous. Because I go to the Blick here in Salt Lake City and there's all these people. I'm like, you guys don't know me. I'm not famous enough. Suna says, oh, Photoshop, trying to edit photos. I know the feeling. Thank you, Brian. It's a deciduous leaf, which is why it falls apart. That is it. Thank you so much, Anna, for the super chat. Definitely want to see you finish no matter how long it takes. The other thing I wanted to tell people about, because Anna here is talking about NFTs, we've been telling people a lot in the Discord, if you get a DM, anything that's about an NFT, just delete it because pretty much all of it is a scam. Just don't reply. What is better for people to do, what we ask people to do in the Discord is if you guys come into general chat is here. This is where everybody just hangs out and talks about anything. But if you come here and you at moderator and you tell us if you got something like that, let us know before you do anything and we'll let you know what to do. Let's see what else is happening in the Discord. We also have starving artists. Ooh, you binged on watercolor brushes. Ha! Yes, I believe this will take oh, look at that. It's like weapons. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, starving artist. Really, if you guys wanna learn about art supplies, come hang out here. Anybody who asks anything about any brand, you will find people who have used it before. All right, Butter had some awful traffic, is doing the prompt where you are responding to a sound. Oh, I love these juicy teal colors. And in fact, in some of these, you can see whoa, that looks so cool. It looks like the bottom of a glass bottle or something. Salinas is testing something. 2 more iterations. I'll see how I like it after I get the actual subject matter on them. Yeah, it looks like you're doing oh, did you trace the mulberry? Oh, no, you traced the leaf pattern and then painted around it, but now this is the mulberry texture? Oh, this is such a beautiful silhouette that you have. Remember, everybody, you can drop in here and show your stuff. It's really nice for the audience to see that. Let me share a couple of other things. I try to share different people, by the way, everybody. So it's not that I'm skipping over you. It's just I like to give a shout out to different people. This is Sleep Sheet, drawing a cartoon of myself on a whiteboard. Love it. It's so quirky. And we also have Bob Man is doing a duel. I love the circular motion. A lot of depth going on in there. And we also have Matt, work in progress, figure study based on a Mapplethorpe photo in oil. Oh, aren't those some beautiful strokes? Lots of energy in strokes, Matt. Thank you so much for sharing. And we do have a question here from Jade. How do we get into the Discord? What room is it? Well, go down to the video description and we have a link that is a direct link, invite link to the server. So if you already know Discord, you can just do that. But if you've never used Discord before, go to the page on our website. And we do have step-by-step instructions on there. To get in there, you usually go through the introductions channel and then you scroll up and down. You'll find art alongs. So we have a lot of channels. You just have to go up and down until you find art alongs. Yes, the mop brush was a makeup brush. That's probably why it was so lame. I don't know. I think it would have at least something that was a little bit, yeah. Okay, let's get back into this. Okay. Oh, my camera is telling me that the card is full. Hang on one second. Let me see. Come on, go away. Maybe I have to take the card out. Okay, this probably means that it's gonna want to go away. Give me a sec. Sorry. That's tech stuff for you. Tech stuff always going on. Yeah, it wants me to reboot OBS, unfortunately. Let's try that again. But as long as you guys are all cool with that, I do like running streams when I feel like I can just be. Like, be how I am. I can't have everything be a performance all day. I'll go crazy. Oh, wait, it doesn't like that card? Oh, I need to find the other card. Give me a second. I think it's like under my desk, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves. Which do you like better? Gouache or watercolor? I know it's going to be very controversial. Give me a sec. I know my SD card is here somewhere. I'm going to guess that I like watercolor better. However, I have not played with gouache that much. Maybe I will fall hopelessly in love with gouache during the gouache marathon and I will change my mind. Okay, here's the SD card. Let's see if my DSLR wants to cooperate. One thing I have gotten good at is going with the flow. When something goes wrong, here, I got it. Just need a second. Let me just fix the focus. And we'll get right back in. Who's winning, gouache or watercolor? I want to know, everybody. I don't know. A lot of people tell me they find watercolor very frustrating, so who knows? Okay, and I'm going to zoom on this leaf so that way we can really get into the specifics. All right, here we go. Still dripping? What the heck? Okay. We need some gradients up there. The thing is, the reference image, it looks very flat. It does not look good in the reference. Okay, now I'm going to put in like a medium green. And I'm going to let this blend because this is an area I don't want things to be really dramatic. This is supposed to be sort of like a backlit leaf, and I don't want that attention. I don't like this brush. I think I need the bigger brush. It's still dripping. Jeez. What is it about that mixture that I did? All right, we're going to go back to the big brush. I'm just trying to get some medium green in here. And then eventually we'll move over to some lighter green on the other side. Yeah, there's a sharper edge. I mean, how many people here have used gouache with watercolor? Because Alex Rowe, who used to be our gouache star on staff, he told me that he rarely used gouache and watercolor separately, that it was extremely common for him to use them together. And I guess I never really thought about that. Okay, now up here, I'm going to go lighter. This might be too light, but let's just see. But I'm hinting at the veins. That gives it a little bit more presence. Gotta loosen up my stroke. I feel a little bit tight today. But at the very least, I want to just cover this whole area. Yeah, too light up there. I think I got to darken that whole area. Yeah, definitely needs some value. I'm also thinking about the edge of the leaf because it's got these like little spikes on it. But I don't know if it's too soon for that. On the other hand, I do really need this leaf to be more prominent. Maybe I will add the spikes. But let me bring back some of the dark. I feel like I lost some of the dark here. So for the dark areas, I did put on the paint thicker. That is pretty helpful when I'm trying to get something to feel a little more solid and present. And I'm going to build up the dark at the top. You know, maybe I should mix another green, one that's like even a little darker than that. Let me take I'm going to get a bigger brush and I'm going to push the paint around. Not blending, but pushing. Oh, this brush is terrible. Is this one better? Oh, this one's like, did I not clean this? Oh, you know what? Maybe let's try this brush. This is a Blick Mega brush and it's size 30. Ooh, that might be good. But before I do that, I do want to paint the little spikes, the ones that are at the edge. I do think I need those. Ooh, shoot, this has like white in it. Time for me to clean my brushes. Again, using silk oil tank, and this has safflower oil in it from Gamblin. I never thought I would be doing solvent-free oil painting. They just don't teach you about this stuff in art school. I guess because they just, I don't know, assume you're going to have those facilities later, but you don't. Okay, I'm going to make the leaf a little wider so I have space to go right into the cherries for some of these edges. I'm making them a little spikier than they actually are. But I think that's okay. I could make them as spiky as I want. Because I do need to find a way to get them to really pop. And I feel like shifting up this edge is a good way to do that. But I don't want the leaf to look furry, which it does. Oh my God, that looks terrible. All right, let's cut them down. Yeah, that looks really bad. Oh my God. Shoot. It's easy to get rid of though because I have the medium. I can just wipe it away. Okay, we're going to go in with this big brush and let's see what happens. I'm pushing paint around, okay? I'm also trying to get some bigger strokes. This is the type of brush that's a pain in the butt to clean because it is so large. Oh, you know what's nice? Oh my gosh, let's do this. This one spot. I'll take a picture of it for you guys to see. Oh, I like that. Because you know something, I was thinking before that the leaf looked kind of boring because it was just straight green. But there's this one spot where I wiped it away and you can get a little bit of that red. Oh my gosh, I really like that effect. All right, let me take a picture of it. Oh, that's the key. Okay, so I'll take away by moving the stuff around with this brush. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to do. I was not expecting that. Oh my gosh, let's do it, you guys. I'm so excited. And by the way, I would like some gouache pointers from the point of view of somebody who does watercolor, but has never really done gouache before. Are people here feeling like they know a lot about gouache, or are you an amateur like me? Yeah, I'm going to just keep pushing this paint around. Maybe I'll go in with the rag. But I might also, let me build up some more dark green up here at the top. I think I need some like nice big chunks of this green. Oh yeah, oh that's better. Good, good, good. Oh yeah, I like those big shapes. Nice. I think that's what I wasn't doing before. I wasn't getting big enough shapes. And maybe on that side, I'll add like a lighter green. Oh, that's much better. Oh, I'm much happier now. I think I wasn't using a big enough brush. I think I was stuck on the small brush, which was not helping me at that stage. Oh, I'm surprised that that really worked. All right, let's do a little bit more removal with some brushes. Oh, this brush is okay. I guess it was just a little stiff. Oh, let me take a photo of this before I remove the stuff, and then we'll take a look at the comments. And I'll do some close-ups so people can really see what that looks like. Okay, ready? We're going to push some paint around. Oh, I didn't cover that part of the leaf. Shoot. Yeah, here. I really need to just close that off so we get the edge. Oh, that's better. I don't know why I made it so furry at the top. It really does look bad up there. Okay, gotta fill it in. Get a little more simple. I think I made the parts like stick out too much. Here is better. I think that works. But you know, maybe I'll just smudge some of this. Let's let this part be less prominent. I'll let these edges be softer. But now I got to remove with the rag. Ah, shoot. I didn't use any medium. Okay. Put some medium, and this will allow me to wipe away some of the green that I don't want. Oh, it's so easy. This is why I like glazing. So easy to fix things when you need to. Okay, we're going to push some things around now. This, I think, got a little too complicated looking. Because I don't know that I want this painting to have a lot of details. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, let's add some alizarin crimson. Oh my god, that's what I want, 'cause I was thinking about doing something darker. What? Oh my gosh, let's do it. Yeah, that's better. I like some of that transparency. That's bringing out some maybe I'll skip the well, let me reevaluate. We're gonna get another brush that has nothing in it so I can lift and scrub. Oh, I think that's good. Let's take a quick break. We're gonna see what people are talking about in the chat. Sketch pause. It's helpful to think about using gouache while applying the fat overlaying concept to its thicker subject, thinner background. Good. Yeah, that's something that I've done with other paints, but good to know that that works well with gouache. Jewel Bar says, I know that under layers will activate, and due to the creamy consistency, it'll come to the surface and ruin your darker layers if not careful. But I would be talking out of my hat. Yeah, the reactivation thing, that's not something I'm used to. That will probably be the thing that I need to think about because I do love painting in layers. I love how this one is totally dry and I can just paint over it and not be worried about that undersurface. I think that will probably be the thing about gouache that will confuse me the most. Hey, Sarah, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you guys here. Jen is asking about Art Club. Okay, this apple makes me really mad, and I feel like they should have this written. Basically, Apple takes a gigantic cut. So if you get membership to Art Club via our server shop in Discord, they hike up the price. The real price to Art Club is $30 or $60 if you choose the higher tier. But if you buy it on an Apple mobile device, the price is $40 and $80. So the main thing, if you guys decide to subscribe to Art Club, don't do it on an Apple mobile device. Do it on another device or do it on your desktop. And it makes me mad because everybody's confused about that. And we have something on our website that explains, listen, know this, but the thing is, it's not guaranteed that people will see the website. It's really frustrating. And, of course, Apple is not going to put something that says, by the way, we jacked up the price. So the real price for everybody for Art Club, $30 or $60. It is not what Apple is telling you. I wish they would just mark it because it's causing so much confusion for us. And I've tried to make it pretty clear wherever we are in control of that. It's really, really frustrating. Suna says, wow, am I really the only one fully voting for gouache? So I guess more people like watercolor. Yeah, George says watercolor. Brian, DJ, Angela. Oh man, watercolor winning in a landslide. Salinas is saying, why are you making me choose? We just like to cause conflict on the stream. We also have Jewel Bar says, I've used gouache and acrylic. Oh, I've never done that before. I wonder how that works because gouache has such a chalky quality and acrylic is so much, well, it depends on the acrylic, but I think of it as being shinier and more plasticky. Yes, that's it. Exactly, Jen. Makes me mad that they do it that way. We also have a question from Anna. Does gouache not ever truly dry? Yes, it will reactivate. Alex Rowe told me that he had gouache palettes from like 20 years ago. He said he's still using those paints. So, yes, it never dries. How do you finish a painting? I'm not entirely sure. I think some people told me they had used Dorland's wax medium. I feel like somebody told me about another thing. But I guess assuming that you don't leave your painting in a place where it's gonna get wet, you're probably okay. I don't know. Can people tell me about that? Do people here put a spray fix on their gouache paintings or something like that? Let me know. Yes, Jen, the safflower oil I am using, I will get it out for you guys. This is the safflower oil. It's made by Gamblin. It's a slow drying paint medium, solvent-free brush cleaner, 100% pure plant oil. The link to all the supplies is in the description below. So if anybody wants to take a look, but this is what I use instead of, say, a solvent like Gamsol, which does create fumes. Oh, Blue Wren fighting back. Gouache all the way. Okay, so Soon-Est is spray fixative. Which one? Is it like one of those acrylic fixatives? Like I know Krylon makes one called Crystal Clear, but maybe there's a different one for gouache. Has anybody here tried Dorland's wax medium? I was very curious about that, but I do think it makes it shiny, which I'm not sure I want for a gouache painting. So Jen says, I've had gouache dry and crack, but you can reactivate it. Yeah, doesn't it just crack if it's too thick? That's what I was thinking. Oh, okay. So Suna says UV protective matte spray. Oh, well, the matte thing will help. Yeah, okay. I just clicked in my head right now. Jen says, I don't think gouache is usually light fast. I've mainly heard of it used by illustrators or for scanned work. Oh, I don't know. Is gouache light fast? I mean, it is very common. A lot of illustrators do use it. I don't know if that's particularly the reason. Jewel Bar's asking, is that Matthew Perry? No, it's Hugh Jackman. Oh my gosh. And yes, he's performing at Radio City Music Hall right now. And it's just killing me because people are posting clips from the concert. I'm really sad because tickets were so expensive. The good tickets were like 1,000. I was like, no, I think I'd rather pay for my mortgage a few times. Yes. Okay, so Suna says light fastness of gouache depends on the pigment. Plenty of them are light fast. Okay. Yeah, I never watched Friends. Friends was not my cup of tea, that TV show. Oh, almost a crone says there's a matte wax base. Oh, can you tell us what brand? I have two. He's on my desk and he's back there. And actually my kid tried to steal it from me. My kid was like, "You don't need that." I'm like, "Yes, I do." There are two Hugh Jackman fans in my house. And okay, I love Hugh Jackman, but I'm not wearing Hugh Jackman t-shirts like my kid is. Yes, I think I do need a medium-sized one. I need one in a different outfit because as much as I like him in a suit, there's parts of his anatomy we don't get to see. Yes, I agree. I don't know. I found a lot of the actors annoying, but that's just me. I know a lot of people like that show. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, I think I am going to do some alizarin crimson, you guys. Okay, let's try it. Let me do a little bit of mixing because I do think the leaf, it's a little bit flat. Oh, stop it, camera. Okay, that's better. I just want to mix up some alizarin. I know it's going to work because I have a lot of alizarin inside the cherries. So if I have a little bit of alizarin in here, I think that will give me the connection that I want. I feel like the leaf right now is a little flat. Okay, so let's take some of this green. We're going to put some alizarin crimson in there. Oh, wow, that's really dark. Ooh. Gosh, that was fast. I wasn't expecting it to get that dark that fast. I'm going to do a little more. Let's just see. This alizarin crimson is pretty strong, although this is Gamblin alizarin crimson. I wonder if it's just that Gamblin paints are more concentrated because the Michael Harding oils don't really feel that way to me. Okay, so that is the green with a little bit of alizarin crimson. And I'm going to shoot a photo of that so you guys can see what the difference is. And that is going in the Discord. What? Why are you guys putting Hugh Jackman into the Discord? Do you want me to paint? Because if you do that, I'm not going to paint. It's all over. And I really think I should get totally separate Instagram accounts on a totally different phone, because every time I open Instagram to do work, there's always a Hugh Jackman video or a Walking Dead video that pops up. You know how they always give you suggestions? And then it's like, I have to watch it. Like, I can't not watch it. I really should do that because it's a genuine problem when I go to do Instagram work. Okay. We're going to layer some red on top, the alizarin crimson mixture. And by the way, everybody, I am not really looking at the photo anymore. I'm really just trying to see what the painting needs at this point. I'll still use it for some other things, but not for others at this point. Why are you guys talking about Deadpool? This is not helping me. Okay, we're gonna just get in. Oh, maybe I'll lower my easel. Sorry. Wait, we know you guys will see that top. There we go. Okay. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's really. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed. Oh, that's making my day. Oh, that is so nice. I'm so happy about that. I'm going to keep it more towards the top. Oh yeah, that gives it way more dimension. Oh, I like that. Maybe I need an even bigger stroke up here. I don't want to overdo it though, because I don't want this to totally take over. And actually, I do want to lift out some. I do think it's a little heavy-handed in a couple spots. Let's just do some blending. Oh, I feel like I messed up the vein on that side. Let me just come in there with some lighter green. The paint does feel really good, you guys. The Michael Harding paint, oh, they're really, really smooth. Really nice. I mean, I'm starting to get a lot thicker now, so it's really starting to show that aspect. Okay, we're going to come back to this brush for blending. Because I don't want things to be too prominent in this area. I think it's okay if this is a little bit more simple. Ah, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Gotta get back into that dark green. Bring that back. So much of painting is you lose it, you bring it back. That's something I have definitely accepted about this process. I feel like I gotta take a look at those edges again. They're still kind of sloppy for what I want. Okay. I might want to just simplify them a little bit. Makes them a little more simple. All right, that definitely helps a bit. I'll have a couple spots pop out, but then the rest of it will be sort of smudgy. Let's get a little bit more because I want the center vein to be a little more visible. I think I want to do a little more down here. I want to do some blending. That's what I want. Blending things always feels good, right? But I do want to add a little bit more green in a couple of these spots. Zoom out. I hope you'll be able to see better. Yeah, I think there's just not enough green. Let's go to the bottom. Definitely think I'm missing a lot of green down there. Okay, we got to also clean the brushes a little bit. I'm not going to majorly clean them, but I'll just wipe them down a little bit. Ugh, nasty. I think it's this bright one I really want to add. It's this like bright yellowy green. What's going on there? Yeah, I guess this whole area just, I just forgot to add green to this whole spot. It's all, oh, that's too light. It's all like shades of green back here. Yeah, that's, oh my God, a huge difference on that cherry. Okay, that's coming together. By the way, tell me in the comments, what's a good TV show right now? Because I just finished The Walking Dead. And we did watch the Daryl spinoff, but the season 2 is not available on Netflix right now, and that made me really sad. So what TV show would you guys recommend that I watch next? Totally lost this spot here. Ugh, I just made that really disgusting and gross. I think I need to I need to clean my brushes. That was a very bad move. But I just want the green to like be here because it wasn't very prominent before. Ugh, I'm getting lost. There's so much here in terms of imagery. Oh, maybe I'll do like a light green glaze. Okay, let's add some. We're gonna add some of the medium because I think I'm missing. There really should be more green back here. Because this is like all red right now. Let's do a very thin green. Sorry, let me zoom out so you guys can see that a little better. God, I didn't realize how behind I was on the green. I thought that I had done enough, but it seems like, gosh, I'm missing so much. Let me add, sorry, mic's in the way. I think we need something down here. Yeah, that dark green is pretty nice for that. Oh yeah, I think that's helping. Yeah, this whole area's totally too purple. Oh my gosh, here too. There's like, what the heck? It's like all these parts of the painting I didn't even think about. Well, at the very least, that brings out that cherry. Or are those two cherries? I'm so confused. Is it? I think that's two cherries, and I drew them as one. Oh my god, I think I did. I think it's I think it's like this. Oh shoot. Maybe I should paint some alizarin crimson over that so I don't forget later on. Let's just do a light glaze of alizarin crimson. Or maybe some blue. I'll do some ultramarine blue. I think that would be better. Just to accentuate. And then we can separate them. They look kind of like plums. I feel like there's, oh my gosh, there's so many parts that are missing the green now. I really thought I was like almost done with that area, but it's like not even close. Jeez. All right, we're going to go in. We're going to do some serious blending. Or maybe let's do some rag work. Maybe the rag would be good too. I just want to soften some parts. Or like here. just want to blend it down a bit. Ugh, oh my God, why did that get so nasty so fast? I think it's this brush. This brush is kind of gross. Okay, it's time for some brag stuff. Here's some glazing. Whoops. Yeah, I just want to blend this to death. I guess my solution for today is just blend everything. Oh, you watch Boardwalk Empire, Brian? I tried it. I didn't find it that good, though. I think because there weren't any good female characters. I mean, I do really like Steve Buscemi. He's fantastic. But yeah, I lost interest because I just felt like the women were props in that show. Actually, you know what I just finished watching was The Agency. Did anybody see that? Michael Fassbender was in it. But it was sort of the same thing. Like the women in that show were, well, I guess there was like one woman in The Agency who had a real character, but the love interest of Michael Fassbender was just like a prop. That was kind of disappointing. I feel like I'm getting a little tight. I don't know if I like that. It's hard to keep things cohesive at this stage. Well, I got farther than I thought I was going to get, which is not very far, actually, for everybody who's wondering. I don't know. Sometimes I feel guilty when I do a lot of blending. Sometimes it feels like it's almost like a cop out or something. I don't know. That's just my hang up. Like I worry that the blending is just making everything super pretty and mushy. Well, sometimes pretty is not a bad thing, though. Well, it looks different. I can tell you guys that. I can confirm progress in that sense has happened. Oh, that got really green. All right. All right. I just need some highlight back here. This is really bothering me. It got really dark. If I can just pull this back a little. Because I don't want to lose. I have this like sort of pale blue in here that I like. I don't want to totally get rid of it. Need that variation. I've never used acrylic gouache before. I don't really understand what acrylic gouache is. I mean, is it like a blend of acrylic with the gouache? Like, I'm so confused about exactly what it is. All right, let's see what people are saying in the comments. Okay, so Reb Blunt says, I do like acrylic gouache, just not the flexibility. Okay, Selena says you can't reactivate it. I like it for underpaintings. Jewel Bar, relatively clever, intellectual, but enough action. When I want something clever and witty, I just watch something with Ari Shapiro. He's just like epitome of witty commentary, but super intelligent. I love him. Oh yeah, my spouse watched The Wire, and one of the people in The Walking Dead is in The Wire. Maybe I should watch that because I do really like HBO. Well, guess what? I'm rewatching The Last of Us with my kid because my kid finally finished the game and is now willing to watch it with us. So I'm rewatching it right now. Harry says Orphan Black. You know something? I think I watched like 2 seasons of it. And then it wasn't very good for some reason. I don't remember. It's like such a long time ago. Sacre Bleu says there's a watercolor type of gouache, an acrylic type that will not re-wet. It's been around at least since the 9th century. Oh, nice. Let's see, everybody, what people have been doing in the Discord. We are in the Art Alongs channel. The thing is, I've seen that multiple times. Jewel Bar. Everything you guys would like to send me about Hugh Jackman, I've seen it all. Like Jordan sends me stuff, and I'm like, I've seen that 10 times, Jordan. So, yes. Look at that facial expression. That is really good. Oh, nice. Look at that. Ooh. Oh, I'm so excited to see where that goes, Salinas. It's a beautiful start, the way you're engaging with the colors and textures of that. Very cool. I love when you guys are sharing all of these different things that you're thinking about and inspiration. It's super fun for us to see all of that. Remember, everybody, we don't have registration open for Cloud Landscapes, but we do have registration open for creature design with Jordan, and also loosen up your art and experimental printmaking. Remember, if you are not in our Discord, I highly recommend joining because I am in there all the time helping people out, and it's the best place that you can get help from a giant community of artists. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.